Hello everyone, Namaskar. I have the honor of presenting the last presentation for the day. Please bear with me, I'll try to keep things short and quick. And I have an interesting topic in mind, something very close to what we work at, something very close to showcase the kind of difficult problems that we are trying to solve it up. Let's quickly start with it. So let's just first understand the context from a consumer standpoint. From a consumer standpoint, we are kind of the queen or the kings in the current era. We please play. Okay, yeah. I'll just quickly fast forward it. So in the current scenario, if you look at, we get 10-minute deliveries. We get zero call delivery. The delivery boy right away arrives at your doorstep. We have delivery of all sizes. It's not only small apparels that we get in. It's also the large appliances that we order. We get them home delivered at the same time, in the same ecosystem, in the same comfort of our home, in the same comfort of getting a quick delivery or getting a zero call delivery. We also have secured and easy returns as well in our ecosystems. If you do not like anything, you are able to return it. At the same time, we look at other avenues as well, that we have flexible delivery window. We can define that right now I am in middle of a conference or in middle of an office. I cannot attend it right now. And similarly, we look for polite, we look for inclusive fleet as we scale, as we expect the customer deliveries to happen with us. So the beauty of the logistics ecosystem is that all these problem statements are solved for, and nobody kind of remembers what has happened behind the scenes here. Everyone just remembers a logistics firm or any logistics ecosystem only when things go bad. It's kind of a role of a wicketkeeper. I normally use that analogy. In cricket or in a test match specifically, your wicketkeeper is collecting all the balls, he's catching, he's stumping, but you would eventually remember that wicketkeeper only when he misses or drops a catch or misses a stump. And that's kind of the scenario with the logistics ecospace. You are trying to solve very difficult problems, but you will be remembered only when things go bad. So my presentation here is focusing on remembering you the things that go bad, and so that we can appreciate that for the 98% times when the things are working well, why do they go well? So let's move in a simple manner. Simple question. Is it always delivered within 10 minutes? Has any one of you, or I believe a lot of you would have experienced a scenario where at the time of placing an order, you were shown that it will be delivered in 10 minutes or 9 minutes or so on, but you keep waiting for that order even for 15 to 20 minutes as well. And that is a very frustrating experience, to be honest. I mean, experience, your cook is there waiting for veggies to come in, and you are like, हाँ अभी 5 minutes में आ जाएगा, and still after 20 minutes, nothing has arrived. Now let's go under the hood on why is it a difficult problem per se. See, predicting ETA or accurate ETA is actually a very tough problem. A, you need to know the real-time traffic prediction available out there. Now, the kind of data even Google has limitations for the kind of use cases that we have in our societies. As a simple matter of fact, Google can give you that how much time will it take from point A to point B. But it will never tell you how much time will it take for a delivery boy to reach from the society gate to the block number that you are at. There is no accurate methods available around that. And even for a delivery boy as well, or a delivery partner, it is difficult to know where block E of XYZ society exists. There is no global data that is available around there. Then comes the next important part of weather forecasting. See, we are sitting in our houses. We do not know how bad is it raining outside, what all second order impacts happen if it rains or if some inclement weather happens. So I come from Jaipur, I come from Rajasthan. I know during our summers, it is loo. Loo blows throughout the day. As customers, we have never realized what this delivery partner is actually going through in order to deliver this good for you. And your ETA engines need to also assimilate this in order to understand that this order will be delivered in this much time frame. And hence, it's a much difficult problem, and you need to, and this is where AI is actually helping from historical patterns, from the experience of the existing riders visiting that society, to create that internal map of a society on how to navigate to a particular building or to a particular society. As a simple matter of fact, I mean, in some societies, room number or flat number 105 could be on first floor, and in some societies, it could be on 10th floor as well. And then there is no knowledge that exists. Using AI, using historical deliveries, one can actually build that ecosystem and have much more accurate ETAs, much more faster deliveries, solving for the speed problem out there. And then, I mean, we talk a lot about the supply optimization, so I'll not spend much time on it, but the core idea is that what we think to be a very seemingly simple number that gets shown when we are placing an order, that itself relies on number of other computations to go right, number of other data points to work well in that direction there. Moving forward, the second problem statement. Now, it's a very interesting problem statement, and again, I'm not sure how many of us would have experienced it. So, Indians, so when we place an order for e-commerce firms, we write the actual address that is there of our place that is there. And the beauty of the problem is that a lot of us in India do not know what our PIN code is. Or we also do not know the very fact that what our actual address is. So these are actually some examples, and these are not make-up examples. These are real-life examples that are there. We have seen an address where a person has written, Ramesh ki dukaan ke paas. So first I have to find a pointer to where the Ramesh ki dukaan is. Then I have to reach that dukaan and figure out where the next person is. Now with all this ambiguity that exists, and as a very simple test, if anybody would want to try it out, just Google your home address as is on Google Maps. Just put it there. It is highly unlikely that you would exactly get a pinpoint location of your address. Now, if you do not get the pinpoint location of your address, then all your route optimization, all your systemic optimizations will lie flat. Because all your computers understand is that I want a lat long available with me. If you do not have a lat long, how could you even optimize the routes? How could you even figure out that the rider needs to first go here and then go here and then go here and so on? And that's a very deep problem, honestly, which is very specific to Indian ecosystem. It is not much of a problem, for example, in developed nations like United States. It's a problem which is very specific to India. And that requires lot of problem solving here. And so while these are some examples or some illustrations of the problem statement here. So one is that we do not, our location or our address structures do not follow a structured pattern. Some write locality first, some write landmark first and locality later. The second part is very important again. We write our addresses in English, but our locations, our landmarks are in our local language. So there is some bit of noise that comes up when we phonetically translate it. Right? So it is not that all our cities, all our towns, all our areas, they are named after English use cases only. And that translation itself creates a difference in building the right algorithm out there. So you could not say that, as a very simple example, you could not say that I would, I mean, as simple as that, apartment is, or very simple, very pertinent to Bangalore is Shobha Apartments. So some people write Shobha as Shobha, some write as Sobha, some have other variations as well. And hence, your typical algorithms or static dictionary matches do not work well. You need sophisticated AI algorithms to be able to ensure that these phonetic variations are captured in your way that you are geocoding your addresses out there. The third problem is actually a real one. I mean, believe it or not, Gurgaon is just one pin code. We do not have a clear way or a scientific way of dividing our geographies into pin code. And that creates, I mean, I was personally, shocked to learn that of the 10% orders that we receive on a daily basis, the pin code is incorrect. And that is a big number considering the Indian ecospace. I was surprised to that level that if 10% people do not know their pin code, how are we actually thriving? How are we actually delivering those shipments? So these are some of the problems that our team at Shadowfax and at different similar horizon, they are trying to solve, and AI is actually assisting in this. I don't want to delve into the specific AI algorithms out there, but the core idea is that if we understand the depth of the problem statement, that allows us to build those algorithms in a much better way. The third problem statement where AI significantly helps is on the fraud detection part. As a very simple, I don't want to take the name, but I believe each one of you would have read about this international courier scam, wherein somebody from police would call and they would ask that we have confiscated passports or we have confiscated some drugs on your name and you are under digital arrest. There was a major big international firm that got infamous because of this. And then these kind of problems, I'll tell one interesting problem statement as well. So there are some delivery partners who come on our platform. They impersonate the existing delivery partners. And why do they do that? They do that just in order to have free food. So they will log into our platform. An order will get allocated to them that you have to pick an order from Meghna Biryani, for example, and deliver it to the customer. They will pick up the order from Meghna Biryani, and then they will switch off their phone. Has it ever happened with any of the as a customer experience that your order, yeah, so I think you guys can relate with it. So these kind of frauds also exist, where people are using these platforms to have good food. I mean, they choose their restaurant, they choose the store where they want to have food this time, and they station themselves closer to that. The key thing here is that as a logistics ecosystem, it is the duty of the platform to ensure that all such fraudulent activities are preempted and are taken into account. So we take into account the location data, we take into account the behavioral data, we take into account the network data around that part as well to triangulate the likelihood of having a fraudulent activity associated with that rider, associated with that seller, associated with that customer. And that again was a revealing exercise for me personally. Aamtaur pe, normally we all think that it's in most cases the delivery partner who tries to commit a fraud. You'll be surprised to see that Indian consumers themselves, they try to game the system as much as possible. A simple example which used to happen quite way back for us. So we used to deliver, at that point in time, returning of electronic goods was allowed. So we used to pick up so you could place a return request for an electronic item and we will pick it up. So some college students, what did they do? They placed an order for iPhone 7, and in the return, they returned an iPhone 6. A delivery boy is not that competent to understand what is the difference between an iPhone 7 and an iPhone 6. And just by exploiting these loopholes, they were able to game the entire ecosystem out there. Once the delivery boy has picked the item, the customer can always deny and say that, yes, I had given the correct product only. And the entire ecosystem, and again, specific to India, I'm not sure of the global scenario, but specific to India, people try to game system as well. And the logistics is kind of at an intersection of all these players in place. We have touch base with the seller, we have touch base with the customer, we have touch base with the delivery boy. And we have to triangulate that whose fault is it. You cannot take a one plain answer solution for everything out there. The other thing that I'm personally worried about is the huge amount of PII data that logistics systems have. And the need for data security, the need for preserving them is a very important thing. I mean, we know, don't be shocked, please, but we know what you order, when you order, how frequently do you order, who stays with you. All this data is available with the logistics ecosystem, and it is our duty to ensure that it does not end up in the wrong hands. So to able to understand the requisite use cases, to be able to understand how to protect the PII data is an important problem statement as well, where, I mean, the credibility of the brand stands. So yeah, these are some of the things that we do. So we do an impersonation check. So whenever a delivery partner goes online on our platform, we ask for a selfie. And that selfie should match with the selfie that was clicked at the time of onboarding. So you need near real-time solutions out there. So we have tried to create a model which runs on the Android device itself. And it is able to match the embeddings for the delivery partner with of the current live selfie with the time of onboarding. It takes into account the various variations of having a beard, having a scarf, having a glass. So all those variations have been taken into account as well. And it also does a liveliness check. We were also surprised to note that certain riders, they were trying to game the system by clicking their photo as a selfie. So those use cases also exist. Then we analyze the live locations that are there to identify the anomalous pattern, that if this rider has picked up the order and the route to the customer is towards here and he's planning to go in that direction, that's an early trigger or an early alarm for us to figure things out there. And then a large amount of seller and rider profiling is also done. You tend to understand the entire graph of the rider, who has referred this rider, how long has he worked. There is a gradation of the skill set that is assigned to a rider and to the seller and to the customer itself. So these profiling tools are also an important thing. I think I'm about time, so the last thing that I'll just convert here is that, is AI only for the customer experience? Is AI only for businesses? AI is also helping our delivery partner experience as well. So the delivery boys, because of whose efforts I am standing here, we are talking about what we are building about, they are also an important beneficiary of AI as well. Some examples which I wish to talk about is the back to home concept. See, we all talk about having the most optimized route optimization that is there, having the most optimal route, how can you find it fast? When you talk to delivery partners, they say that, boss, I'm not looking for an optimized route. When my night shift or when I am ending my day, I just want to go back to my home. So give me an order which takes me back towards my home. Don't give me an order which you feel that this would be the most optimum route for you. Okay. He or she will be more than happy to deliver an order which is taking back towards the home during the night time or during the shift end time. So how do you match the incoming demand with the supply factors that are there on a real-time basis is something that we try to solve here. Second is on the wait time at the store. See, for a given restaurant, depending on what the person has ordered and at what point of time that the person has ordered, the time to prepare changes. And this time to prepare or this wait time at the store is the idle time for that guy. That guy does not make, that delivery boy does not make any money during this period. If we are able to preempt that this particular order takes this much time to prepare and accordingly delay the allocation to that delivery boy, that itself saves a lot of bandwidth for these delivery partners and builds a good stickiness of these partners with us. And third is something that we touched upon in the initial part, the last 100 meter of the last mile. There is no public data available on where is block E of Shobha Society. There is no public data available on how to reach flat 1015 in that particular society. And if we can solve this problem itself, that can tremendously help a delivery partner to reach the destination in the right manner, to make more money for their time in the right set of efforts out there. So yeah, with this, my time is also up, and I'll conclude this with a thank you statement. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to me.